Welcome back. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to change the status of a listing in RealTracs. As a home goes under contract, it changes into pending status, and then after it's pending through the process, it goes ahead and we close the transaction. So we are going to look at that in RealTracs, how to go ahead and reflect that listing on the MLS so that everybody else knows that it is either in a pending status or it is off the market or even changed back to active if it goes from pending back to active due to unknown circumstances at this point. So let's go ahead and get started. You would log into realtracs.net, go ahead and go to the home page that would pull up. Let's go to my page and scroll down to add edit. Click on that. From here, you can see a view menu of all of the active, pending, or closed properties that we have. Let's go ahead and just pull that up. So you can see here that what we are going to do is change the status of 1423 Shoreside. So let's go ahead and do that now. You can see along the bottom we have change status. Click change status. From here you need to select a selling agent. Since it's our listing, there could have been someone else that typically was another agent and not just somebody else who was unrepresented. That can happen. You can select non-MLS, but most of the time you're going to select selling agent that it's going in pending with, the agent who has the buyer. And for this one, we are going to know that this is the agent. You can click Todd South, and you can, let's see, let's do that again. So Todd, let's click search and see what happens. A lot of Todds. Southworth. So you would click on the right agent, and from here we're going to have a pending date. For this one in particular, it was this date. And you're going to see this button right here change to pending. You can also, when we withdraw listings, the same thing would apply where you would change to withdrawn. That would just change the status. For now, we're going to change this to pending. And you can see the listing has been saved. Let's go back to the property list. And from here you can see now 1423 Shoreside is in pending status. So from here, let's go ahead and change the status again because I've actually already closed this transaction. Typically you would mark it pending a little different way throughout the listing process. So this is at the very end of the transaction. Mark it as pending. Now we're changing the status. Once more, we're going to mark it as closed. And you can see the selling agent is already selected. And for this one, we closed on Wednesday the 5th. It's going to ask for these items as well. You need to make sure that you have the agreement, or at least the information from the agreement, to answer these questions, because that gets reflected on the multiple listing service so that agents can use that for future reference when they're doing market research. So we want to make sure that we are giving them correct information. And we are actually going to have this set up so that you can find this information. I was just thinking about it as I was looking, but if you wanted to get the sales price and the binding agreement date as well as closed information such as the selling agent, you're going to be able to get that from your lead tracking sheet that we will share with you, and you can open up and you would go to the active retail board tab, and all of the information that you need would be under your transaction last. For this one, we don't actually have the bound agreement date put in here. That will be put in on every single one from this point forward under this column. So just be aware of that you can find that information. And you're also going to be able to find the selling agent right here. And if you have other questions, we can get that information for you at that time. So let's go ahead and complete this. The binding contract date for this one is 1/15, and it was a cash offer. The sales price was $207,500. And just so that you know also, any that go into closed where they are no longer needed, we need to take those from this board. So at that point on the active retail board, that will go to closed. This will come off of the board because it's no longer open. And let's go ahead and change this to closed. Okay, so this is also going to ask you the sales price varies by more than 5% of the list price. And it did. We were listed at 219.9. That's okay. It is correct. 2075 is what we closed at. So let's go ahead and click OK with that. And there you are. We are finished. Let's do one to where we're marking it back. Let's say one that we mark in. Well, let's not do that actually, since we've closed that out. Well, you can do this. We'll do this one.